Hare Krishna Prabhu, we can't hear Prabhu. You are in mute, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. We are unable to hear you. Speak, Prabhu. No, Prabhu. Still, there's some problem. Others are able to hear Prabhuji?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. Here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Now can you hear?
Sound loud.
Now fine, Prabhu. Perfectly fine.
Yes, we can hear.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Manachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are reading from first canto, 8th chapter, text number 36. Everybody can repeat after me. Can you able to see the text? Should I increase the font?
Is perfect, Prabhu.
Shanvanti gayanti grunanti abhikshanashaha.
शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति अभीक्षणः शशः
Smaranti nannati tavehitam janaha.
स्मरन्ति नन्दान्ति तवेहितं जनाः
Tayeva pashyanti achirena tavakam.
तयैव पश्यन्ति अचिरेण तावकं
Bhava pravoho aparamam padambujam.
भवा प्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम्.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Word
Krishna.
meaning, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shanvanti here, Gayanti, chant. Grananti, take. Abhikshanashaha, continuously. Smaranti, remember. Nandanti, take pleasure. Tava, your. Ihitam, activities. Janaha, people in general. They, eva, certainly. Pashyanti, can see. Achirena, very soon. Tavakam, your. Baba Pravaha, the current of rebirth. Uparamam, cessation. Padambujam, lotus feet. Translation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. Purport is very big. Maybe let me complete the prayers and do explain the purport then and there. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshmurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Cha Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostume Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamame Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam papanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. This is a wonderful another glorification by Kunti Maharani. And the series of verses have been continuously going on and on. Now, Kunti Maharani says, "O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop repetition of birth and death." So everything is there in this verse. So we can understand what is the problem and what is the solution and what is the result of the solution. Everything is mentioned here. So in this text, we can easily understand how important it is to hear and chant and also repeat Krishna's activities. Like the Supreme Lord has performed wonderful activities, Adbhuta Leelas, even before appearing in this material world and even after appearing in Madhura jail. And also he was transferred to Gokul, Vrindavan, and Dwaraka. There are unlimited pastimes the Lord has performed. So those who hear and take part in those pastimes, and their life will be successful, and they can only put a full stop for repeated birth and death. Srila Prabhupada explains here, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna cannot be seen by our present conditional vision. In order to see him, one has to change his present vision by developing a different condition of life, full of spontaneous love of Godhead. So when Sri Krishna was personally present on the surface of the globe, not everyone could see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Materials like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Jarasandha, and Shishupala were highly qualified personalities by acquisition of material assets, but they were unable to appreciate the presence of the Lord. So even till today in this Kali Yuga, and today is 20th December 2023, Wednesday, many people, they can't believe even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a person, as an incarnation of Krishna. Though we have so much references and Vedic scriptures say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself, but in the combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. But people are foolish. They argue so much and they cannot believe. Even so many other sampradayas also, they cannot understand and believe the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what to talk about when Krishna directly appeared in the material world itself? People, they may have their own concoctions, their own speculations, and they cannot easily understand Krishna. Even in my office also, one person keeps on saying so much philosophy, but ultimately that person does not understand or agree or accept that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So I gave Bhagavatam references, and Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that I am the Supreme Lord, and that person is unable to accept or understand this. Similarly, this Jarasandha, Shishupala, Duryodhana, so many other people, they cannot understand because they are very much puffed up with their material assets. And if small amount comes, these people are very much, pride, and they show it on others. In this way, various layers are covered to that living entity, so that he cannot accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Manishyanam sahasreshu kvachidadati siddhaya. But they were unable to appreciate the presence of the Lord also. Therefore, even though the Lord may be present before our eyes, it is not possible to see him unless we have necessary vision. System has hung up here. Just a moment. Hope you can able to see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
We are able to read like till the last line. Therefore, even though Lord may be present before you, it's not possible to see him unless we have the necessary vision. Till there, Prabhu.
Scroll is not going down. Let me open my palm top.
Just stop sharing and restart sharing, Prabhu. That's all. It will work here only.
The mouse itself is not moving.
Oh, okay.
Some special mercy has come.
He wants us to. spend time in this particular verse lines. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Therefore, even though the Lord may be present before our eyes, it is not possible to see him unless we have the necessary vision. This necessary qualification is developed by the process of devotional service only, beginning with hearing about the Lord from the right sources. So, a lot of importance has been stressed in these words regarding the Shravanam, and this is the first aspect of the Navavida Bhakti. So, when we chant the holy name of the Lord also, we are supposed to chant and hear very attentively. 99% of the people, they chant, but they don't hear. And this is actually a kind of inattentiveness. And we should develop an art of, hearing it properly. So what happens when we hear the holy name of the Lord, and that the vibration of the holy name will enter into our ears and it penetrates whatever the bhavaroga is there. In this verse, it is mentioned very nicely. What is the word? Bhava pravaho upamaranam. That means to take pleasure other doing. So certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. In this way, one is purified simply by hearing the holy name of the Lord. Of course, sometimes we chant, sometimes others also chant. And when others do the holy name of the Lord, and if we can able to focus it, giving full attention, then that vibration will enter, and that is the cure for all the medicine. So in this way, one can be purified simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing it at the same time. So the Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literature which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc. by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometimes it is experienced that the performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord face to face. The reason is that the first item, Shravana, is very important. If hearing is from the right sources, it enacts very quickly. Generally, people hear from unauthorized persons. Such unauthorized persons may be very learned by academic qualifications, but because they do not follow the principles of devotional service, hearing from them becomes a sheer waste of time. Sometimes the texts are interpreted fashionably to suit their own purposes. Therefore, first one should select a competent and bona fide speaker and then hear from him. When the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other processes become automatically perfect in their way. Sometime back, one person, he's a thief actually. He wanted to steal some jewelry and he wants to enjoy with that. So where Krishna Katha was going on and on, he was actually hearing very attentively. He may be knowing all this pastime. So this thief also sat in the Krishna Katha, and the speaker went on, glorifying Krishna, and he started describing Krishna's, lotus face and his lotus eyes and lotus hands, and Krishna is wearing, so many jewelry also. They are shining like anything. So this thief really got very much attracted. And later he asked where this person, this little boy is available. So he came to know that he is available in Vrindavan. So he traveled to Vrindavan. There actually he met face to face Krishna. But poor thief, he did not know that he is the Supreme Lord. So when he met face to face, he was looking at his face, and at the same time he was looking at his jewelry. And initially, when he heard about Krishna wearing a lot of jewelry, valuables, he was attracted to the jewelry. Now, when the Supreme Lord himself directly appeared in front of him, he was very much attracted by the glowing effulgence, lotus face of Krishna. And however, he wants to, steal this jewelry. Then, when he started speaking to Krishna, then Krishna, he rejected his plan. No, no, no. My mother, has made me wear all these things. I cannot give you all these things. Then, after interacting, he had association of the Supreme Lord himself. Then, when he heard from Krishna, when he had association with Krishna, when he had a darshana of the little Krishna, and his bhavaraga in the heart has been completely vanquished. So the point to understand here is, if anybody can able to understand Krishna through the scriptures and also from a bona fide devotee, and that will only work. Normally, people hear from so many professionals, even in the villages, many people, they hire this Harikatha hour, and they pay some 5,000, 10,000, and he comes and he does Harikatha. In between, he cuts so many mundane jokes, and he makes audience, very funny. So that is not the proper way of speaking Bhagavatam. But in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, this unauthorized hearing should be avoided. So in Padma Purana, it is mentioned that Avaishnava Mukhor Girnam Putam Harikata Amrutam. If anybody hears from unauthorized persons, it is just like a snake, touched the milk. If nobody can dare to drink, because daily we also drink, milk or Horlicks, something. Suddenly, if there is a lizard or some snake touched it, and we never dare to drink this because it becomes poisonous. Similarly, these unauthorized persons, those who do not chant the holy name of the Lord, those who do not follow the principles like meat eating, gambling, and intoxication and illegal sex, and they cannot be able to describe the glories of the holy name of the Lord. Though they describe, it does not have any impact on the audience. That's why we should avoid all these kinds of unauthorized hearing, and we should hear from a bona fide person. We need to check before we hear. Otherwise, it is simply a shamayevahi kevalam. Okay, we'll go with the second para. There are different transcendental activities of the Lord, and each and every one of them is competent to bestow the desired result, provided the hearing process is perfect. In the Bhagavatam, the activities of the Lord begin from his dealings with the Pandavas. There are many other pastimes of the Lord in connection with his dealings with the Asuras and others. And in the 10th canto, the sublime dealings with his conjugal associates, the gopis, as well as with his married wives at Dwaraka, are mentioned. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference in the transcendental nature of each and every dealing of the Lord. But sometimes people in an unauthorized hearing process take more interest in hearing about his dealings with the gopis. Such an inclination indicates the lusty feelings of the hearer. So a bona fide speaker of the dealings of the Lord never indulges in such hearings. So many people, they wanted to hear the conjugal pastimes of the Lord. And some people, they just open the first canto and jump to the 10th canto. And this is absolutely, prohibited. No one should read in this way. So one should read under a bona fide devotee, under his guidance, and from canto, from verse, chapter to chapter, verse to verse, he has to read it continuously. Otherwise, it gives a illusionary impression for him. So one must hear about the Lord from the very beginning, as in the Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scriptures, and that will help the hearer attain perfection by progressive development. So this is what progressive development. Normally people, even I have seen many devotees, they don't do any siksha. They don't write any Krishna like a Shaddavan or Krishna Sevak, Krishna Sadhak, Krishna Upasak. Directly they go to the shelter. And so without Siksha, Diksha is very difficult for them. Though they take initiation also, and they do not understand the Shastra, they do not able to follow the principles. Sometimes, they may fall from devotional service. That's why proper foundation has to be there. So we keep seeing in Bangalore so many buildings. If a building does not have proper foundation and it collapses, it happened in many places. Similarly, our bhakti life also to be founded very strongly, and without understanding the scriptures, without hearing from authorized sources, we can never grow in our Krishna consciousness. Okay. Okay, his dealings with the Pandavas are less important than his dealings of the gopis. We must always remember that the Lord is always transcendental to all mundane attachment. In all the above mentioned dealings of the Lord, he is the hero in all circumstances, and the hearing about him or about his devotees or combatants is conducive to spiritual life. So we must also hear the devotees of the Lord also. So actually, devotees of the Lord are much more important. And in many scriptures, the Lord also mentions that, serving his devotees is much, much greater than really serving Krishna. Nobody can, directly serve Krishna. Yeah, we should always act like, Gopi, Bhakta Padakamalayo, Dasa Dasanudas. Okay, so in all circumstances, Krishna is the hero. But, normally we do not accept this statement. We are very much puffed up. I want to be hero all the time. Like even in devotional service also, we do some achievement, book distribution or Deepdan, and we act like hero. And, we want to be glorified by all the devotees. Prabhu, I did so many thousands of Deepdans or thousands of books. And all often we use I, me, mine. Thereby again he is caught in aham mameti segment. So the point to understand is we should always be very humble and do our best and leave the results for Krishna. Then Krishna will see that. So karmani eva adhikarasya ma paleshu kadachana. The Supreme Lord Krishna says, I gave you adhikara only to do your karma, your duty, and not the result. I will allow the result basing on your surrender and your bhakti. Okay. So it is said that the Vedas and Puranas, etc., are all made to revive our lost relation with him. Hearing of all these scriptures is essential. So actually, we need to see through the scriptures, like there are material eyes and spiritual eyes. With the material eyes, we cannot be able to understand Krishna. Like when when our vision is blurred, we are supposed to wear the glasses. When we wear the glasses, the vision is very clear. Similarly, when we wear the transcendental eyes, and that means when we read through the scriptures, Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Padma Purana, etc., then we can able to understand who Krishna is, what his activities are, and by simply dwelling in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna, that Bhavaraga will be vanquished. Okay, so I just summarize here. And today's verse is talking about hearing and chanting, but hearing is much more important. And also, when others also talk about Krishna Katha, when we are when we lend our ears in hearing Krishna Katha and following the principles of devotional service, and it's very easy that Krishna can be revealed for us. Okay, so the result of this is we can stop the repeated birth, death. And what is the outcome of that? So we can go back to the spiritual world and serve Krishna eternally and be happy. So thank you very much. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavata ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. So the screen remains the same. I'm sorry. If you have any questions, comments, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very interesting, nice one. I recollect Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj when he was coming. He had introduced, or rather, he in his class was telling bona fide hearing. Did you hear bona fide hearing today? So he used to always refer hearing with a pre-word bona fide. So I'm reminded of that when today when you are saying this hearing should be perfected. And perfection is only possible if you hear from a bona fide speaker. So nice, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank
This
you.
is my takeaway point today.
Okay.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Guru Maharaj also has said something related to this, Prabhuji. Yesterday, he had sent that whatever the spiritual master sees, that is my own vision. I am blind. I cannot see anything. I may appear to see something, but my real vision is whatever the spiritual master sees. So I think it correlates very well, Prabhuji, that our eyes are very much blurred. Whatever we see, it has some defect. But when we see through a devotee, a bona fide parampara and guru, then our vision is perfect and we can understand Krishna as it is. Hare
Excellent.
Krishna.
Excellent. So actually, I wanted to read it out, and you helped me a lot. Thank you, Vijayata Mataji. So anybody has got any questions? Like one example is one devotee is entering bar and restaurant. So we should not able to misunderstand that. He may be entering to distribute Bhagavad Gita, or he may be entering to invite them to the temple. Somebody said, Gauranga Prabhu was in jail. And that became a 1 hour topic for him. So he went to jail to preach all the prisoners and remove their burden. But in the some devotee heard that, hey, Gauranga Prabhu, now he is in jail. So it gives an impression that he did some crime and went to the jail. So that is not so. Okay, anybody else?
Prabhuji,
Hare
my
Krishna,
friends
Prabhu.
also.
Hare Krishna.
My takeaway point is that when we do chanting, we should be careful. We should listen to it, and then we can do a proper chanting.
Yes, Mataji. So not only when we chant the holy name of the Lord, but when we chant the other mantras also, we are supposed to hear. Like when we chant Mahaprasada Govinde or Vrindaya Tulsi Deviyaye, or when we chant Achamana mantras, we are supposed to hear. We should make it a practice. Normally for a person who takes dictation and his attention is fully focused on the pronunciation of the speaker. So if we can give full attention to the lip movement and the sound vibration of the speaker, we can able to hear it very nicely. Often I give this reference saying that when we speak to a person over phone, we speak very casually. But when OTP comes or when password comes, when he is conveying that message, we hear very attentive. That is the difference between casual hearing and attentive hearing. That attentive hearing we have to keep when we chant the holy name of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Darasana.
Dhanyavad.
We have a point to ask Prabhuji. You said very nicely, when you are hearing some OTP comes, you are giving attention fully. Like that, in our day-to-day life also, we are doing work, concentration. But somebody is giving some gossip message or something, our attention goes over there. So, how wrong message or if it's a right message? Even while chanting also, when we chant, we try to chant attentively, put all our gears to the yes, today I'm going to chant attentively like that. Something somewhere will be murmuring that the point of attention diverts or that. So for this, how to get overcome this probably? That's now.
I'm sorry, I could not able to hear you.
However, I heard he said while even in regular life, when we are trying to hear attentively, we try to focus on some other people who are gossiping.
Okay.
And he also correlated that while chanting also, well, we try to think that we want to focus full day, but then even a small chat stops this and then starts listening to that. So that is the two things I heard.
Okay. So we need to make a practice actually. Maybe we need to sit and chant the holy name of the Lord. And we should do it as a practice. Am I hearing properly or not? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it is natural that mind is chanchal, it deviates, but we need to make it a practice. There are no other techniques other than bringing back the mind. So we may ask, so many sannyasis come, so many senior Vaishnavas, they give a lecture. We ask the same question and we get almost similar response, but it is our turn to practice it. Just like we read how to drive a car in a book, but we don't drive, then there is no point, So we need to read Namamrita and develop faith in the holy name of the Lord, and do it very respectively, reverentially, and attentively. We need to practice it. So the point is, we do only that 16 rounds. We don't go for the extra round. We don't give time for the holy name of the Lord in hearing. This is what we are lacking actually. We need to practice it. We need to practice, which makes man perfect. You can try it your level best. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
You gave a nice
Hare
hint
Krishna,
about reading
Prabhuji.
the Namamrita. I think it is very useful. I think. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Namamrita is such a wonderful book. Anytime, anywhere you can open and read it. So it is Amrita from Nama. So we need to develop a taste. To develop the taste, we should read Namamrita, and we should read scriptures also. We should hear from Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Then it will make us some sense, and a degree of hearing will be developed. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, somebody asking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, my takeover point is that completing Siksha, Shraddhavan, our basement should be perfect. Then only we can understand the Diksha, Guru, and Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay, the time is 6:46. Anybody else? Okay, we'll keep it open. Will you please come on the video and give your announcements quickly? Hare Krishna. Book distribution marathon has started. Requesting all of you to kindly collect the books from the temple, from Suvigraha Prabhu. Then you can start your book distribution. You can reach many temples and block your temple on 23rd, which is Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So on that day, many people, like to take Gitas. Maybe you can try for a lot of Shastradhan. So you ask your friend or your relative, please give your donation for Shastradhan, and say if he gives 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, those money, valuable Bhagavad Gitas we can give to him. Maybe we can label it also, like this Shastradhan sponsored by XYZ. And either he can distribute, or on his behalf we can also distribute. In most of the other parts of India, what they do, they collect donations in the name of Shastradhan, and they go to schools and colleges or offices, and they distribute Bhagavad Gita for them. Okay, anybody has got any?
Yes, we have divided into two teams, and even before the Vaikuntha Ekadashi, I was told from Krishna Sevani Mataji and Asha Mataji that they are planning one temple, one Devi temple, because there is usually a rush on the Friday also. Okay. So looks like this weekend we will try to be in as many places as possible and see how much we can please Guru and Srila Prabhupada. We're making a very humble effort and a sincere effort, Prabhu, for the book. And also we had a meeting, and individually each one have taken a small, very, to start with 5 books at least that I will take. I'll see these 5 books will go. Okay. So like that, one small effort we have been making, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu, for your endeavor to distribute the books. Anybody else? Shall we wind up the session?
Order from one of my friends. He wants to do Shastradana for her students. She ordered 9 books, Prabhu, 9 English Bhagavad Gita books.
Haribo, congratulations.
Hari Bol.
Glory to Prabhupada.
Okay.
And in the entire Kalpadaksha from Vrindavan Nagar, almost everybody will come forward, and more than 90 books they are planning to distribute, Prabhu.
Hare
voluntarily.
Hare. Wonderful. Nice endeavor, Mataji.
And
Thank
our
you.
dear Suresh Prabhu has promised to distribute around 25 books, Prabhu, alone.
Very good.
So
Very
we
nice.
need your prayers and your Guru Maharaj blessings for this, Prabhu.
Sure, Mataji. I will surely pray for all of you so that we can participate in this transcendental book distribution. Okay. Let's all chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Gauranga,
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 Gauranga, Gauranga.
Vancha
Hare
kalpatarubhya,
Krishna Prabhuji.
varshnebhya cha patitanam papanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, today recording, if you can.
Yeah,
Oh, you can't use. Okay,
I can't even touch the
okay,
laptop.
okay, Prabhu. Sorry, I just.
You all can quit. I will also quit.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I'm having exams, so requesting for prayers.
Okay, Akrit, we'll surely pray for you, but you have to do your homework also.
Yes.
Okay, so prepare very nicely, and surely Gauranga will bestow blessings upon you. Wish you all the best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
My tenants' children are having exam, Karthik and Dilip. So requesting prayers for them, Prabhu.
Sure, Mataji, we'll keep them in the prayers.
I'm also having exam Prabhuji today and tomorrow.
All the best, Vijayata Mataji. All the best.
Thank you so much.